Hi, good evening. Lost pasture. Lost pasture, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your voice this evening. I don't want to see your comments unless you are praising us. Any other thing. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Lost pasture, MummyMo support. Just waiting for the kid nutritionist to hop on. Right. Oh, let me start noting my first 5. You are not eligible today. No. You are not. My first 5 for this evening. Maya Mariam, are you in Nigeria? Buki Banko, are you in Nigeria? Hi, Maya Mariam. Buki Banko, Mama, are you in Nigeria? Just Ms. Pearl, are you also in Nigeria? I can't leave this bank. All right, Oliver, thank you for joining. Oh, you're in America. Oh, how can I send you airtime in America? I find that a lot of people abroad have contract lines, so it's always difficult to top up because we're giving away free airtime for the first 5 people who join us on the live. Apart from those who have, of course, won something before. Miss Pearl, you're in London. Are you using a pay-as-you-go line or are you using a contract line? Oluwaseun Fadairo. Oluwaseun Fadairo, where are you joining us from? Are you in Nigeria or are you abroad? Maya Mariam, oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your compliment. Thank you. So, Maya Mariam, how can I get airtime to you in the US? Or do you have someone in Nigeria? If you know someone in Nigeria that can give, just send me a DM. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And we have Ifeyinwa. Yeah. Okay. Shivan Abuja, that's good. That's good.
Hi.
Hi, good evening, Ifeyinwa.
Can you hear me loud and
It's
clear?
yes, I can. I can. It's Queen. Can you hear me? Can you hear
How are
me?
you doing this evening? Yes, loud
I'm
and clear. How are
fine,
you doing
thank
this
you.
evening?
I'm fine, thank you. So I'm a proud PEDS alumni.
Yeah.
I'm a proud PEDS alumni. So maybe by the time we finish talking this evening, the ladies on here will know what PEDS is and all of that, and then of course we'll have
Definitely.
some people winning slots. All right, so ladies, good evening and welcome. Welcome to another event in the MummyMo HairCare 4th Anniversary CSR Drive. If you haven't been following us for a long time, MummyMo HairCare is a business that caters to child natural hair care. We equip moms with the knowledge they need, the products they need, and the tools that they need to care for their children's natural hair so that they don't make uninformed decisions that end up damaging the hair instead of nurturing the hair. All right, and then tonight, I'm so happy you're on here. I'm so happy that you agreed to come live with us.
I'm
Like
excited.
this big woman. I just hope I can get her. I hope I can get her. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. So, ladies, let me quickly introduce our guest this evening. And she's going to blow your mind. If when I did the PEDS, all the things I was just listening to, I was like, eh. And the thing is, I studied nutrition for my BSc. Although I didn't pursue it, I later went into finance. I later went to finance. I didn't pursue it, but I was just like, okay. If only I'd stuck with it. But anyway, God knows why I did stick with it. And anyway, now I'm here. I'm doing this now. All right. So, Mrs. Ifeyinwa Omesiete. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Mrs. Ifeyinwa Omesiete is a certified nutritionist with a BSc in nutritional sciences from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, USA. She consults at various hospitals for children of all ages, where she treats medical and dietary ailments. She creates and introduces innovative recipes designed to improve on a child's diet based on their diagnosis, physical activity, and age requirements. Her experience ranges from picky eaters. Everybody, if I picky eater, just wave, put up your hand. From picky eaters to the management of genetic and chronic diseases. She co-founded Nutrition for Kids NG, which is an online platform that educates parents on the importance of proper nutrition, effective feeding techniques, and must-have skills designed to introduce a child to a variety of wholesome meals between the ages of 6 months to 6 years. Do older ones now. My own children are beginning to exit this year. Through her social media platforms, she educates and shares her personal experiences on how to live in the modern world whilst raising healthy and well-nourished children. One of her many goals is to relieve parents of the stress and guilt of wondering how to feed their children the right way while cultivating a healthy family lifestyle. Ladies, please help me welcome, put all the clapping emojis, put all the toilet emojis, help me welcome Mrs. Ifeyinwa Omesiete.
Thank you. I feel like every time that bio is read, I keep asking myself, who is this person?
I can imagine. I can imagine.
It feels so good to be here. It feels so good to be here. It feels good to be talking to all of you. I'm excited. I'm not going to go into who I am. You just heard it, right?
Exactly.
But I want to say a couple of things. So first off, I absolutely love what you do at MummyMo HairCare. I love it. I love it. I found out about you, I think it was either through Mo Baby. And when I got Mo Baby, because I was having so many issues with my daughter's hair at the time, and I had gone through a series of like hair care. So I was just like in the background, silently looking at your children's hair, and I was like, oh God, But one of the things that I think is so important is the fact that we don't actually understand the power that nutrition has when it comes to the overall health of your child. Because when I look at my daughter's pictures from when she was, I think maybe about 6 months to right now, and where her hair is, I know for a fact that apart from, doing the right measurements, getting the right knowledge and all of that, how food has a major part to play. And not even just the food, not even just the food itself, but understanding the role that food has. Because I think one of the things that I try my hardest to teach parents is don't just feed for the sake of feeding, right? Don't just put things in your children's mouth just because that's what it's supposed to be. But feed because food has a purpose. Food has a role, right? Food is healing. Food loves you. Food takes care of you as long as you respect it, because it's important to respect food. And then just really enjoying the variety thereof there is in food. I think for me, that's really why I keep doing what I do, because when you look at children, they're growing, right? They're becoming, little humans. They're going to become little adults. They're going to become so many things. And one thing that is a constant in their lives is food. It's still a constant in our lives, right? And, after the pandemic, after everything that really has happened, we've all seen that you don't take care of your immune system, you don't eat properly, you don't, aim for a healthy lifestyle, you're going to be in trouble. It's not even a function of discussion anymore. Look at COVID really in general, and what happened with COVID, and how there was just such a huge panic around that time. And then there were people like me in the background like, I'm just going to drink my lemon and ginger tea because I don't even have the energy for all these things people are saying. You just read somewhere, someone said, drink this medicine, drink that, so knowledge. I think the first part of this conversation is knowledge. What do you know about food? What do you know about how your child is eating? I remember when I was weaning. I always tell this story. I remember, not even before weaning, I remember when I was pregnant, when I found out I was pregnant with my first child. And one of the first things I did was like go on Amazon, and because I was in the US at the time. So I went on Amazon and I looked up like feeding utensils. What was the best feeding utensil? What's the best spoon? What's the best bottle? And as much as I'm a huge advocate for breastfeeding, I already knew off the bat that a fed baby is a best baby. It's not even about, and because I already had these notions in my mind about where I was going with my child. So I think when we even think about knowledge really in general, you want to think about where you're going with your child's feeding. A lot of us just have the baby, then we are told, okay, you have to breastfeed. And then you start the journey of breastfeeding, and then you don't make an effort to find out, how should I breastfeed? What should I be breastfeeding? All those things. And then you find yourself in a situation where, oh, okay, I don't know if my milk is enough. Okay, let me even substitute formula. Maybe I should complementary feed. And then you start complementary feeding, and you don't read all the intricacies about complementary feeding, right? Like, I feel like people don't get to the root core of these things. So you don't understand complementary feeding. And then you're like, okay, milk is not enough. Okay, my baby doesn't want to eat. Okay, let me try. You just go through this whole cycle, and then 6 months ends. And then you now enter food. And then when you now enter food, you're like, oh, okay.
Where do I start from?
Baby.
They said we should give them pap. They said we should give them a wedu.
Some people said that wedu is not good. Maybe I should do cereals. I have been following this baby food blogger for so long. Let me try some of these recipes. And you do all these things. Now, some people are lucky. It hits it right off the bat. You don't have issues with your child feeding. They eat whatever you offer them, right? And then some people will then go and struggle. The Picky Eaters Association. The child is like, I'm not eating anything you're offering me. I don't want it. I don't understand it, And then, you navigate that route, you struggle through that route, and then now your child is like, what, 3, 4, 5, and you hit another milestone. I was just telling the moms in the community, I think it was last week, that the human body and psychology and food are so intertwined. What does that mean? When you feed a child, you're only feeding for the person at the moment, right? You're not feeding your 6-month-old for your 12-month-old. You're not feeding your 12-month-old for your 2-year-old. You're not feeding your 2-year-old for your 7-year-old. You're not feeding your 7-year-old for your 15-year-old. So one of the biggest mistakes we make as parents is feeding one person. So you feed the person in this moment, believing that that person is going to be like that till they're like 7 or 6. So maybe all of a sudden you hear your child say, oh, I don't want yam again. And you're like, but you've been eating yam for so long. What do you mean you don't want yam? And this is like, yam is yucky. I don't want yam. And then this parent enters into like this rabbit hole of, oh my God, what am I going to feed my child? My child is a picky eater. So knowledge. It saves you so much. Like the headache that parents are relieved of during the PEDS challenge is like somebody poured cold water on them. Literally. Is there an audio
Grace,
you can't hear? I hope you can hear
please,
me.
can everybody else hear us?
Yes, please tell me
Because
if you can hear me.
I can hear Ify loud and clear. Please let us know.
Tell me if you can hear me. Please tell us if
Please
you
let
can
us
hear
know.
me.
Can you hear us? Please let us know.
Okay.
You can hear us. Okay, so
Awesome.
Gracie Ayo, please try to log out and log back in again.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So knowledge, right? Everything comes back to knowledge. What do you know? Oh, so another person. Try logging out and coming back in if you can't hear. So it goes back to that concept of knowledge. What do you actually know? I think my favorite parent is the parent that says, I thought I knew, but I don't know. Like, I thought I knew, but I really don't know. And I feel like if you're that parent, or if you want to be that parent, you're going to receive better, right? You're going to receive information better. What does
Yes.
that look like? That looks like the parent who was told, give them pap and ewedu, and then you find out that, oh, that it doesn't actually have to be pap and ewedu. It can be rice, it can be potatoes, right? You have the parent who falls into the category of, oh, when my child is supposed to start feeding themselves by 2, but then you find out that that's an unrealistic expectation if you had not set the child up from 6 months to feed themselves at 2, right? This parent is also that same parent who has that 6-year-old who has refused to eat anything for the past 6 years and eats the same thing over and over again. And you tell yourself, oh, okay, I had other children, they didn't give me this stress. You're different. Let me figure out what's going on with you. It's important for us to be able to be open to knowledge, because one of the things I find is when you lock up and tell yourself, well, I've tried everything I know, it's not working, you have not even scratched the surface. Like, even I have 2 kids. One is going to be 5 in August, and the second one is 6. I am still learning how to feed them. In fact, my son gave me a wondrous last 2 months of rejecting everything that he would typically eat. And the first thing that came to my mind initially was, don't frustrate me. You have been eating fine for the last 5 years. Why do you want to frustrate me? And then I told myself, I said, you know that's not going to work, right? You need to figure out why he has stopped eating. What's the concern? Why doesn't he want to eat? What's the difficulty? And that's why I always say knowledge. Because when you have knowledge, you can ask the right questions. When you have knowledge, you can fix a situation even though it's happening. Because you're bound to have different experiences with your children. You're going to have the children that they told you to buy all the weight gain foods in the market because that's how children are going to gain weight. Oh, feed them pap from 3 months, it's going to work. Give them plenty milk. They need all the milk in the world, to be able to do well and grow, But those things don't work for everyone. Those things don't work for everyone. So being able to decipher, 1, who you're feeding, 2, what do you even know about what food is? When I was in school, I learned about what they call the psychology of food. And so what they mean by that is and that's how I came up with the concept of feeding languages. So if you've joined PEAS, I'm sure you heard us talk about feeding languages 110%. So the lecture was on psychology of food, how people relate with food and their interactions with food, and what it means for each individual. But then I looked at it and I said, this can only work if I can sit down with you and ask you a questionnaire. How do I do that with a 6-month-old? How do I do that with a 2-year-old who would rather walk away from me and say no than genuinely tell me what they would like to eat,
Yes.
How do I even do this with a 7-year-old, right? Okay, somebody is trying to help her.
Yes,
so how do I even do this? How do I even do this with a 7-year-old who has decided that they only want to eat 2 kinds of cereal and then maybe rice for dinner, So I said, okay, let's look at feeding languages. And I'm going to quickly go over that, but we always talk, this is like a full-on lecture during the PEAS challenge. But
yes.
I always say that knowing, it's just like a love language. Basically, what it means is, who are you feeding? And then what does that person translate to you? How are they communicating how they like to eat? For example, the typical thing when a child turns 6 months to the average mom is cereal.
Yes.
Now, if cereal does not work, you are in a disarray. You're just like, okay. I need to buy this cereal. Okay, no, maybe it's the taste of this cereal. Let me go and buy another cereal. And before you know what is happening, you've built like a whole shelf and a tower
of cereal.
And then your child is literally falling into your plate. And you're like, they said we shouldn't give babies adult food. They said I can't give them the food I'm eating. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Food was never sectioned into child and adult. Food is food.
Yes. Food is
You
food.
know, everybody's supposed to eat food, right? The difference is you feed the person at the time. What a 7-month-old needs right now is very different than what a 2-year-old needs tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
So you can't feed. So they would still eat the same things. Let me use a very typical example. Rice. We all like jollof rice. If you don't like jollof rice, I don't know what to say to you. I don't even know. But jollof rice, right? Jollof rice is like national cake for Nigerians. Now, my jollof rice is fried pepper, fried stew, you know, plenty spices, plenty seasonings, smoky jollof, burnt jollof, you know. That's my jollof rice. I'm an adult. Now, my toddler's jollof rice cannot be fried stew and fried pepper. There is absolutely no nutritional value in that combination. I can eat it. I'm really eating it for the taste. I'm really eating for survival here. I've finished my growing. But you can't serve that same fried stew, fried pepper to a 2-year-old. It defeats the purpose of the food, right? I can eat basmati rice. For example, they said basmati rice is supposed to have a lower glycemic index. What that means is that it's supposed to be for diabetics, you know, even though I'm not even going to get into that discussion. But, you know, I'm supposed to eat like basmati rice, you know, and you're like, oh, I'm on the fit farm train. I need to lose weight. So basmati rice is better for me. And then you say to yourself, I can't give my 2-year-old basmati. Why? Why? It's supposed to be more fibrous, right? It's supposed to have lower calories, right? But all you have in your head is, oh, they told me it's lower calories, and they also told me it's supposed to be for diabetics. My child is not diabetic, and my child doesn't need lower calories, so they shouldn't even be eating basmati rice. But the whole point of the rice in the first place was the nutrients it was originally meant to have, which is higher fiber and lower, you know, lower glucose levels for the body. So when we begin to look at it that way, why can't a 2-year-old eat it? Why can't a 2-year-old eat basmati rice, right? Now, coming back to the stew, if I'm going to give a child tomatoes, I should not cook the life out of the tomatoes, all in the name of making stew. I should pick my oils more carefully, because oil is supposed to give them DHA, omega-3s, omega-6s. Some are fortified with vitamin A. That's what my oil is supposed to be. My oil is not just supposed to allow the stew fry, right? So I'm supposed to give, because that's supposed to be what's going to help them gain weight, right? That's supposed to be the fats. Those are the fats you're looking for. You are looking for weight, the muscle. That's where it's going to come from. But you've already concluded that jollof rice is not for a 2-year-old, is not for a 1-year-old. In fact, any child under 12 months is forbidden to eat jollof rice. And I think once we're able to cross that mind hurdle, it makes a world of a difference for you as a parent. I'll use another example, Greek yogurt. I was asking somebody one day, I said, why is Greek yogurt used as marketing for the fit farm community, but it's also used as weight gain for babies? Somebody should try and help me make it make sense. If you sell yogurt and you use that as your marketing campaign, help me understand. Because do you reduce the fat that you give to the fit farm people so that you now increase it when you want to give to the babies? Is it not the same yogurt? Then for all those of us that are not interested in losing weight, we just want to eat yogurt and eat yogurt in peace, is there a special one for us? Is it not the same manufacturer? You people are manufacturing the yogurt. That's why knowledge is important, because you fall for it every single time.
Please solve this Greek yogurt problem.
I don't even know who asked that question to, but we fall for that every single time. Meanwhile, yogurt, Greek yogurt, the major reason why you eat Greek yogurt is for the probiotics, for the calcium content that's present, and for the protein content that's present, and of course the fat. Now, why it is ideal for somebody who is losing weight is because it's supposed to keep you fuller for longer. That's it.
Satiety.
There's no, the calories are not less. They're not less.
They're not less. Let's not get it wrong.
Don't get it twisted. The calories are not less, right? So that's why I said knowledge is important. Because when you think about it, when you reason the facts, you find that a 6-month-old can happily eat yogurt without any problems. The probiotics that are present means there's an infusion of bacteria, so it's been fermented, so it makes it easier to digest. It's going to give them that fat. You know, it does what it's supposed to do for every category of person. So it's important for us to get this ideology out of the way that there's a separation between the adult and the child. Adults eat for survival, and children eat to thrive. You feed a child to help them grow and to help them develop, right? And you as an adult, you're done with growing and developing. Right now, you're just eating to make sure that your body stays in balance. And
yes, just stay alive.
Thank you. Just to stay alive. And so that's why it's also so important for parents to avoid labeling their children. One of the things that we try to teach during the PEDS challenge is the complete changing of the mindset that there's something you're doing wrong, or there's something that you should have done that you failed at, and that's why your child is picky. I can bet you $1 million right now that there's nothing you did wrong, honestly speaking. Most of the time, there's nothing you did wrong. Unless you're one of those parents that they've been talking to you and your ear is blocked and you have coconut hair. But if you're not one of those people, there's nothing you've done wrong. It just means that there's somewhere that you didn't get it. And then what about the dryness? Does Greek yogurt have dryness? I don't know. I'm not sure about Greek yogurt having dryness.
Yeah.
You mean like if it's thick, because Greek yogurt is supposed to be
it's
thick.
Very
yogurt
thick.
is supposed to be very thick. Now, if you feel like it is too thick for your toddler, then you clearly don't fully understand the human body. Because, in all honesty, Greek yogurt that is thick is supposed to help them lose what we call the gag reflex. Now, this happens between the ages of 6 to 7 months. Because really, they haven't even really been swallowing. Thank you. They've just been sucking, so it's just squirting and flowing into their throats. They haven't practiced the art of swallowing. That is why some children, because they haven't lost that reflex yet, when you start to transition, it looks as if they are trying to bring it back up, like they are gagging to vomit. That's not what is happening. This person is learning how to swallow. Allow them to learn the process. So that's why I said knowledge is important. Because if you don't know this, you are running to Auntie Kemi. Auntie Kemi, this child keeps vomiting the pap. Please, what other thing can I give? This pap is not working, Auntie Kemi. Come on. Auntie Kemi, I've tried the amala and they don't want it. That's even the more reason why children prefer draw soups, right? Because there's less chewing to do. It's easier to swallow down. So all these things will begin to make sense to you when you have the knowledge and the understanding of these concepts. So now I've lost my train of thought because I was trying to answer that question.
Mariam.
Where struggling of balance. Okay, so I think probably it will come to me as I'm talking about. I think also another thing to oh yes, I'm talking about parents thinking that they've made a mistake. Don't put that pressure on you. The reason why I say don't put that pressure on you is because you're going to feed this individual forever, right? They're going to eat forever. There's never a time where somebody is not eating. And if you apply pressure on yourself in the beginning of that process, you are going to remain frustrated for the duration of the process. That's why you will have parents who have 4-year-olds, they've given up because they've been doing this for 4 years. I'll use myself as an example. I think just at the cusp of 2020, during lockdown, was when my daughter enjoyed fruit for the first time in her life. I'm not even kidding you. I had tried it all. And believe me when I say I tried it all, I tried. Some things you have not thought about. I'd done it when it came to fruits. But one thing I didn't do, and that's why I said, don't beat yourself up about it and don't stay frustrated, was I wasn't looking at the person I was feeding. My daughter doesn't like things that are sweet whatsoever. She's not a sweet tooth, like very, very sweet. She's not a fan of that. And can somebody give me one fruit that is not sweet?
Cucumber.
Cucumber is a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. Fruit that is not sweet. Tomato is the one that is tomato. Tomato is like a fruit and a vegetable, but it's not sweet. Yes.
So she would eat a tomato.
Right.
She would
and
eat
there's stuff like garden eggs.
She would eat garden egg.
Ah.
Or give her watermelon. You're on your own. Give her banana. She'll probably puke for like 2 days. Attempt a pineapple. You have she will eat lime.
She will eat lime.
Lemon. Yeah. She would lick a lemon. And at the time I was like, for goodness sake, this is not ideal. I can't give you lemon to be licking. My friend, will you eat orange like the rest of your counterparts? But I tried for nearly 4 years until I realized that it was a function of the sweetness in the fruits. So things like strawberries would work because strawberries are tart. Things like half-ripe mangoes would work because it's tart. The back of a watermelon, you know, the white part of the watermelon is not sweet. Yeah. She would eat that happily.
Wow.
Green apples, the green apples. Yes, avocado is also a fruit. Yes, but she wasn't a fan. I think I don't know. Maybe
the texture.
She didn't like the fact it was black. Yeah, she wasn't a fan of the texture. So she would eat these fruits, but then I had to tell her that this fruit is seasonal fruits now. What's going to happen to the ones that are always the season? Even kiwis tend to be sweeter than strawberries, and she wanted.
Yeah, when they're ripe, they're sweet.
Yeah, they're sweet. She wouldn't eat grapes, you know, because grapes are. She would try the green ones, but she just like, please, this is stressful. Don't do this to me.
Stressful.
You know. So and when that was like a light bulb moment for me, and it was a light bulb moment for me because a lot of us go through that cycle of if I wasn't myself and I wasn't a nutritionist and I wasn't focused on children, I would have given up on the fruit journey a long time ago. Anybody that asks me, I'll just tell you, my child does not eat fruits. But what's my business? I will not eat fruit. What is my even business? Hi, Mama. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Mama. What's the point of all this? Why am I wasting my energy and my time? But I kept at it for 4 years until we cracked the code. So that's why I said, don't allow yourself to give up and don't get frustrated because you will be frustrated forever.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth. Hi. Okay, bye.
Hey, you.
Bye. You'll be frustrated forever. And it's so important to, like I said, keep in mind that it does take a while, dependent on what it is that you're trying to fix. But persistency and consistency are so important. So if you have a child on here and your child is like 6 months old, you have not even, just roll up your sleeves.
I've not started.
You have not started. Roll up your sleeves, please. I'm begging you. Don't give yourself that unnecessary thought process that it's too much work. Roll it well. If you have a child in the age bracket of 6, and now this is why the PITS challenge is 6 months to 6 years. Once your child crosses that 6-year mark, all you are doing at that point is you are patching. You're not going to be patching. There isn't a lot of restructuring that's going to go on. There isn't a lot of molding that's going to go on. So that's why we target that age bracket. So important. If I can get your child within the ages of 6 months to 6 years, the rest of their lives is going to be golden because they're not going to forget anything. I'll give you an example. My son's birthday is coming up, and one of the things I'm going to put in the packs is Ribena. because Ribena currently is the only, like, so during the peace challenge, you will learn this. We have 80 and 20% rules, right? We have the 80 and 20% rule. So Ribena is currently like a 20% when I have to do a party or something, because every other thing is just a waste of nutrition. And as I was bringing in the boxes, because they're supposed to be party pack fillers, and I was bringing in the boxes this evening, my daughter goes, but there's not really a lot of vitamin C in this. No, there's no vitamin C in this thing. And I was like, sweetheart, there's none. But we're just going to pretend there is.
We're just going to pretend.
We're just going to pretend there is. There's none. We're going to pretend. And for me, that shows that whatever it was that I've been doing for the last 6 years is registering.
It's working. Yes.
It's working. It's registering. She's learning. She's understanding. She knows where vitamin C comes from and where it should be. She's reading her labels. Because if she wasn't reading her labels, how would she know that there's vitamin C on Ribena? How many of you right now have children within the ages of 6 and 7 boldly able to tell you what it is in the pack of what they've eaten? That's because you haven't taught them. So that's why I said, once you miss that window, really all you're going to be doing is patchwork. You're now going to have to teach yourself and then begin to teach your children.
Exactly.
Right? And even as you're teaching them, you're going to have to get them to shed so much of all the things you've done, in the last couple of years of their life, which is a lot more work. It's actually harder than what happens in 6 months to 6 years. That's what people don't understand. So do the work then. Do the work then. Put all the effort. Make the sacrifices. See, waste the money if you need to. Because after that window, the work we do, it's patchwork. They're just doing patchwork. No, I just buy a dress and dress is not fine, and they'll sew here, then they'll lose it here.
Just to help you.
Just so that we can all get along. And really, a lot of their organs are set. The brain is done. That's why you have toddler milks that go up to 4, 5, 6. There's a reason for that. Because they know that once you cross that window, it's all over.
It's over.
The brain is done. The heart is set to continue the work that you have put in place. Forget weight gain. Just throw it out of the window. Look for a book, close it inside and keep the book far away. That's not happening anymore. Immune system, that is it. Like whatever you've built between 6 months to 6 years, that is what that child is going to be thriving on and using for the rest of their lives. What else? Their gut health, right? It's the huge topic right now. That's done. In fact, gut health is even earlier. Gut health is 2 years. You miss that 2-year mark, there's only, like, again, I always tell parents, it's patchwork. The good thing about the silver lining in all of this is that the human body is adaptable, right? It's not fixed, right? Yeah. Once you've set it, it's not So when I say patchwork, yes, patchwork. You might get some reversals in some things and in some cases, but it's not going to be very plenty. So maximize that window. Don't joke with it. See, forget what all these bloggers and people are singing in your ear. Don't joke with that window. You joke with that window. Sorry, give me 1 second.
No problem. Ladies, I hope you are enjoying our conversation, because I am, and I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're paying attention. This is actually so good. This is so good. I'm sure a lot of us have children within that window, 6 months to 6 years. I know a lot of MummyMo moms, have children within that age range. Yeah, we love you, Fee. Yes. So.
Yay! I'm back. Sorry about that. So
We've been hyping you in the comments.
I missed it. Okay, so now let me not do a doomsday talk. So if you do have a child older than 6 years, there's still things you can still do, right? There's still work to be done. There's still chances and there's still opportunities to do better and do right. And one of the things I always say is, at that point, is modeling.
So from 6 years, model.
You need to start modeling the behaviors that you desire for your children to have. You see, one of the toughest jobs we have as parents in this generation is that we are dealing with a technologically advanced set of human beings. See, our parents had it easy. What we have to parent now, God will continue to help us.
As in.
So when you're really and truly and honestly willing to make a change, the change has to start with you. See, one thing I would never understand is how mom can pay so much money for a diet and the children don't get to be a part of that. I think it's one of it's so wrong. It's just wrong. Because if you are sure of that coach and the money that you paid, everybody in your house should be able to
We should be able to benefit
food.
now. Yes. Now.
Thank you. Is it only you that you want your skin to be glowing? Are you the only one that wants to be drinking green smoothie? Is it only you that will be eating oatmeal in the morning and garden egg in the afternoon? Everybody in your house should join you in that journey. If it's short for you.
Oh my God.
If it's actually short for you, everybody in your house should join that journey. And I think if you look at it that way, especially for children in the older brackets, because now one of the issues I'm seeing more, and this is not to scare any parents, but I'm sure a lot of you are on this call, and I don't want you to feel guilty, but obesity is on the rise. And I'm not talking about on the rise like, just a couple big children or big babies, I'm talking pre-diabetics at the age of 8. I'm talking hypertensive children at the age of 10. We really need to start doing the work, because if you don't start doing the work, if you're a parent who struggles with weight most of your life and you're not modeling that behavior for your children, they're just going to end up like you, paying pizza, then you go to Paul, then you go to Auntie Kemi, then you go to, so we really, so meal plan, that's the truth. Like, why would you pay so much money for food that nobody can eat?
Yeah.
And you say you want to lose weight. That's why I said if it's short for you, everybody in your house will be able to get on that train, because you're supposed to be living a healthier lifestyle, right? It's not even just about fit farm per se. Like, if you make a smoothie in the morning, everybody should be able to partake of that. If you see one slice of bread and one egg, you should ask yourself a question like, what is this?
What's going on?
My 2-year-old cannot eat this and thrive.
And be
Why
okay.
should I eat this and thrive, right?
Yeah.
So it's important that you're modeling. Now, apart from even just modeling the behaviors, you're also having conversations, because like I said, we're dealing with a technologically advanced set of children. They are so brilliant, so smart, so inquisitive. They just have this, they have so much around them, to an amount of information to receive and absorb, that it would be wrong for you as a parent not to jump on that wagon to be able to provide that level of knowledge. For example, some children would have probably learned about fruits and vegetables in school, right? And they've learned about different colors, different vegetables, where they grow and all of that.
Yeah,
and then,
balanced diet.
Thank you. And then when they come into the house, the diet is leaning on one side. Maybe the only fruit they've seen in their house is watermelon. And that watermelon self, you've concluded that I only buy it for my children. They don't finish it, then to spoil. I beg. Why is it only your children that are eating watermelon? Is your mouth paining you? Why can't you eat the watermelon too? You can't eat it because you don't like watermelon. You've never liked it as a child. It's not, but you're complaining that your child is speaking. So that's what I mean by modeling. We really need to be able to model these behaviors and show these children who are older. You can't tell somebody to eat watermelon, and then after telling them to eat watermelon, they only see that watermelon maybe once in 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, right? It doesn't just make sense. You can't tell your child, you need to start eating beans more. And then when you make beans, the beans is not tasty. Because that's also another conversation we as parents are not even willing to have. Maybe you're not a good cook. It's okay. Ask your child. There are some children that will tell you. I'll give you an example. I remember, I think it was last year, I went on holiday, and then my children were eating beans in my grandma's house. And my son was was annoyed. He was like, I'm not eating. And I was like, what's wrong with the beans? Like, okay, talk to me. What's wrong with the beans? You eat beans, I mean, beans is not their favorite food, but they will eat it,
You'll eat
with a little
it.
coercion. And my son was like, it doesn't taste nice. There's nothing inside. And true, I didn't blame the young man. There was nothing inside the beans. Because if it's me that is cooking the beans, at least I know that I would have looked for fish to put inside, maybe some green vegetables, that I always try to put colors. So he was looking at this thing and was like, I don't know what this is.
I don't recognize this, and you called it
I don't
beans.
recognize it. But I convinced him, we had a little talk. I told him I'll give him a piece of chicken when he was done and all of that, and we ate the beans. But that's what I mean by asking questions, because every other person would have concluded that, oh, he doesn't like beans. But in reality, he just didn't like this particular bean.
This one.
Right? He would have eaten it, like I said, with a little more coercion, which was what happened. But he didn't like this particular one. And so that comes back to even your older children. What if they don't like what you cook? Right? Have you ever considered involving the child in the process of cooking? Now, I'm not talking about just your female children. Everybody in your house, get on board. Everybody has a job to do in the kitchen, and they do that job, and they feed, the child the meal. I think it's so important that when we even talk about involving them, involve them even in the shopping process, right?
Yes.
Now, you may not be able to shop all the time with your children, but I'm sure you can make a list with them. Something I do, and I've been doing this since my children could articulate themselves. What do you want to eat? Here are your options. So I didn't say, what do you want to eat, and stopped there. I said, what do you want to eat? Here are your options.
Here are the options.
So I'm still in control.
Yes.
I'm still in control. My children are not in control. I'm still in control, right? But I'm also giving them the power. And I'm also transferring the responsibility. This is something you will learn about a lot during PEDS. Transfer of responsibility. You as a parent have a job. Your job is to discipline, to guide, and to protect. Your job is not to put the food in their mouth. Your job is also not to control the quantity of what they eat. I see a lot of parents serve a full bowl of food and say, you must finish it. The moment your child doesn't finish it, you're doing so much more damage than just, oh, they're not finishing their food. You're telling them that even if their body is full, even if their stomach is full, they have to keep going. That's how we ended up with descended stomachs and expanded stomachs, and you'll be looking for how to lose belly fat. You've always been taught to finish what is on your plate. Maybe you should reduce the portion of the food you're serving. Maybe they will actually then finish that, right? So your job is to discipline your child. What does that look like? Setting boundaries. Like I said, what do you want to eat? But here are the options. Because if I say, what do you want to eat? I will hear only cereal. I will hear biscuits. I will probably even hear cookies.
Exactly.
So it's so important that you cultivate the habit of, one, transfer of responsibility. Like I always tell parents, hunger is not a respecter of man. When hunger sets in, the person that is supposed to eat that food will eat the food. But in our time, and I think this is something we do have to correct even with this generation, we were forced, you would be left on the dining table for 6 hours because you didn't eat the food that was there.
Honestly.
You must finish that food. And so you're sent to bed. And I'm like, hey, there are some things you can learn from that. One of the things to learn from that, I'm not going to serve you anything else. But I'm also not going to let you sit at the table. Get up and go. You can go. If you don't want to eat, get up and go. What that means is, I'm not forcing you to do something, but you've also made a decision that has consequences.
Exactly.
And the decision you've made is that you stood up and you decided not to eat. So every other thing that follows, why should you have it? To get those other things, you were supposed to eat your meal. So why should you play? Why should you run? Like, there's just so much that if you've not joined the PEDS challenge, you need to join. It's 2 weeks of this, 2 weeks of me retraining your brain, reminding you that you are in charge. Stop telling people that my child only likes to eat golden mud. It's a lie. Because If you stop buying golden morn, they'll eat another thing.
Yeah.
They did not bring the money to buy the food. They did not follow you to the store, to buy the food either. They also do not partake in the responsibility of preparing the golden morn. So no, they do not like to eat only golden morn. They like to eat other things, present the other things, and take away this one thing that you keep offering over and over again.
Right.
And I think to sort of bring it all back together. Hi guys, I'm still on the call.
Because he said he's golden morn food.
For some people, it's actually food.
Nestle Foods, we tell you is food, but they are trying to make money.
And I think to bring it back all together, because I think I've touched on all the different, age brackets and age groups. I think to bring it back all together, it still comes back to that concept of knowledge. What do you actually know? Are you even parenting the right person? Maybe all this time, you really, really thought that the person that you were feeding was somebody that needed to be eating golden morn because they said that's what they want to eat. In fact, I've heard someone say to me once that she can't tell her son what to eat. I folded my hand like this. I was like, please, say more.
Say more.
Wow. I was like, how old? She's like, he's 3. That one, you can't tell him anything. I said, in your house, the one you are paying rent? She said, yes, so. And I was even trying to give her hints that, are you sure you are hearing yourself? Like, the house that you are paying rent, the same person you are paying his school fees, the one that you clothe, you bathe, the food you are feeding him, the water he's drinking, is the person you are saying you cannot tell him anything. It's all right. How much knowledge do you have about that concept of setting boundaries, setting discipline? And like I said, I had a whole 2 months of my son going completely off the wagon when it came to his food. Frustration setting, I was impatient, driving me crazy. But at no point did I ever relinquish my responsibility of being a parent to him. You will eat this food. This food that is here, you are going to eat it. Why are you going to eat it? Because I do not want to end up in the hospital every 2 weeks. I also do not want to have somebody who looks pale. I also do not want to have issues with your weight. I also need your brain to be functioning properly so that you can be running around on the field in school. All those things are my responsibility. So if I decide to allow you to do as you please, because nobody can tell you anything,
Voila.
what is my job again now? I should just resign as mommy. So again, knowledge. How much knowledge do you have about these concepts? How important is food to you? Like, a lot of us have fears of trying new things, and so you deprive your child of that opportunity.
Yeah.
For example, I used to tell my husband, I said, if we feed our children the way we eat, thank God for God. Because I think between me and my husband, there's probably like an array of maybe 10 foods between the two of us. They share it. And I'm like, because when people ask me, oh, what do you eat? I'm like, oh, I don't eat that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like it when it's made like this, but I can eat it like this. I don't really want so much. And I'm like, oh, I'd be damned if I raise somebody to be just like me. This young person behind me needs to eat better. Yeah?
Hey, you! We're talking about you.
Okay, bye.
Bye! Mwah! Bye!
Oh, now you're going to make him stay because you're like, he's not going anywhere at this point. She said, bye. Can I finish my call now? Do you want to sit and join us? Okay.
Okay.
You have a special guest.
We have special guest.
Special guest that wants to join in the conversation. So let me move the camera for the two of you. Or you come closer so you can be part of the conversation.
Yes, please. We need to know his name. We need to know our special guest's name.
What's your name?
Kachi, you're welcome. You're welcome to this Instagram live where we're talking about getting children to eat what their parents tell them to eat, so they can be healthy. You do that, right?
So
you eat the food your mom. You eat the food your mom is giving you. Yes, I love that. Okay, so now let's let mommy finish what she was saying.
Can I finish now? Oh, another guest.
Make some
money. We know the people that go to enter into business. It is clear.
Oh my goodness. Okay, come see. Can you take Kachi with you so I can finish this call? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, so again, like I said, in conclusion, getting knowledge is important. Knowing your role and your responsibility as a parent is also important. Making sure that yes, I'm God. Making sure that your ultimate goal is to feed with food with a purpose. Don't just put food in your child's mouth. Feed with a purpose, right? And with all these my talking points, I think I've finished.
Thank you. These are so good. Ladies, please, we need the clapping. We need the clapping in the comment section. And if you have questions, this is the time to ask them. Better to put them in the question box. Yeah, so it's easy so that way we don't miss them, but we'll also try. There's one waiting.
Yes. So let's
9-10 months old baby doesn't take water. She doesn't like it and her poop is so hard.
Okay, so if you listen to everything I said, there's no such thing as she doesn't, right? You just haven't figured out how she likes to take it.
Exactly.
The first thing, and water is actually one of the lectures during the PEDS challenge, but I would say this: are you modeling how to drink water? Like, do you even drink water in front of your child? And most of the time, the response I get from that is, oh, she's always struggling with the bottle with me. So now you are still stuck in that mentality that there's a separate vessel for you and there's a separate vessel for your child. In fact, research is showing more and more that it's better to give a child water with an open cup than all these sippy cups and sippy bottles and straw cups and all these other things that have been around for decades. An open cup is your best bet, or an open cup that has a very, simple straw in it, right? So consider that. And her poo will be hard because she's not drinking enough water. Constipation is also another lecture that we teach. Oh goodness, I love this challenge. I really can't wait. I can't wait. Constipation is also another lecture that we teach during the PEDS challenge, and we take it in 2 parts because we really want you to understand the concept. What causes it? What's the difference between chronic constipation? What foods to avoid? Because there are foods that your children take a lot of that actually cause constipation. And I'm not even talking about like processed foods, like even the regular foods you and I eat. So constipation will be caused by when a child doesn't drink enough water. So really, you need to find out what the problem is. Is it the vessel? Are you modeling in it enough? Do you need to change where water is around her? Do you need to, let's figure out what it is first. But to say she doesn't like it, there's no child that doesn't like something because they don't know what that thing is, right? The only way to truly say, oh, my child doesn't like something is, oh, my child doesn't eat this food. Please, is the PEDS available on replay? Yeah, so we run the program twice a year. And when we run it, the classes are pre-recorded. So it's not a live class. You can watch the lectures as long as you've paid.
As long as you want.
Materials. Yes, as long as you want. Yes. Some babies will even prefer sachet water because that's what they'll feel like. This thing that is making so much noise is actually what I even want. Yes. Why are you giving me this colorful cup? Yeah. So really being able to understand those concepts. And I'll say this, most of the things that we struggle with is because we have preconceived notions already. We have preconceived notions already. That's the honest truth. Because if you didn't have a preconceived notion, you wouldn't make the important that you let go, you unlearn and relearn and learn again new concepts and ways to adjust things. So someone says, since you don't eat so much, how do you model the feeding you? So I talked about feeding languages, right? I am a regional selector. It's a type of feeding language. If you've been on the Peach Challenge or if you're joining the Peach Challenge, you learn what a regional selector is. Now, I am in Nigeria, but I eat like an American. So what that means is swallow is not the food you will use to excite me.
It's continental food. I remember the lecture where you were saying it, and I could so relate because I'm just like that. That's the kind of food that you hardly, in fact, in a whole month, maybe I eat swallow maybe only 2 times or 3 times.
Thank you.
But if you are giving me pasta mixed with something, creamy pasta, you'll find me there.
You know, bring some lasagna. I'm open to mac and cheese, you know, and all those things can still be healthy. But because I region select, and that's why I said between my husband, like, I remember when I was dating my husband, one of the things he enjoyed doing was just taking me out. He said because his food cannot waste, his money cannot waste. Like, just take her to all the fancy restaurants. I would never pick only rice. Point me to the one food that nobody is eating. That's the one I want to try. Exactly. That's the one I want to try. So how do I model it for my children? That's why I can undo and undo when it comes to food. I take different regions and different sources of food and fashion it to the individual that I'm feeding. For example, egusi, it has always been known to be soup. But for me,
vegetable soup.
Egusi is butter for my cookies. Egusi is thickness for my sauces. This week in particular, we're having egusi gravy, and it is not soup. So it is about understanding the role food plays and being able to match it to the person you're feeding. So that's how I model it. I come up with things that I can actually eat because I'm not a fan of, in fact, even beans. My goodness. Me and beans are not friends. But I can eat more. And when they are doing roll call, people that eat beans come out.
You will be there. Exactly. You'll be there.
Because it's still beans. But moi looks a lot more fancy. Doesn't look all pitted. You know, I can cut it. I can eat it to different things. You know, I can cut it with a knife and fork if I wanted to. So that's me being, you know, a region selector. So that's how I get to model better behaviors for my children. I eat my veggies. I'm not one of those people that doesn't eat our vegetables. I eat my vegetables. So if you're trying to get your children to eat vegetables and the only vegetables they see you eating is in the smoothie, I can't really.
Okay, let's go to more questions. Let's go to more questions. My baby just clocked 6 months. What should I start with? Introducing her to semi-solids.
So when your child clocks 6 months, one of the first things, like I've mentioned earlier, is offer variety. Don't stick to the concept that it's just cereals. You want to explore food in its abundance. Like I gave the example of jollof rice. Your 6-month-old can eat jollof rice. Quote me anywhere. There is a version of jollof rice that she can have happily. Your 6-month-old can eat moi moi. There is a version of it she can have happily. So there's a version of every food that everybody in the house, and you know, one of the good things about feeding children is they can eat it. You can eat it. Everybody in the house can eat it. But when you cook food for only yourself, only you can eat it. You can't feed it to small babies. So it's a lose-lose situation. So when you cook for them, everybody else can eat it. But because we think that there's a separation between baby food and adult food, you're like, I have to cook for this person, you know, separately. Or I have to make. In fact, the only time I tell people to separate their children's meals, maybe if you have to cook in bulk, you know, I don't want to shorten their ration, I think like last week, it was MummyMo my kids had. They've had MummyMo for about 2 weeks now. And usually when I join them to eat their MummyMo, because it's MummyMo all of us can eat, the ration will reduce. So it might not get to 2 weeks. So this week I respected myself, and I said, okay, I'll eat other things so that their MummyMo will get to the duration it needs to get to. But yeah, you want to explore variety. And that's why the key thing I've been saying is knowledge. What does variety look like? Variety can look like so many things. If I tell you, oh, give cereal. Right now, cereal is, in fact, there are over 1,000 cereals in the market right now. Now, where do I even begin to even give you examples? Some people say, oh, give only carrots and then give only potatoes. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is put the carrots and the potatoes together. Another, I remember, I think my son started eating plantain porridge from 7 months. And at some point, and I think I told the story during PEDS, in fact, I think it's one of the lectures, adding, what's it called? What's this thing called again? Apple puree. While some people would give only apple puree, we were eating plantain porridge with apple puree. So really, 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 in all honesty, like I said, it's offering that variety. I would highly recommend that you join the PEDS challenge because the varieties exist.
Lots, yeah.
Exist.
My 2 years old eats anything you give her, but in small quantities. That's a concern.
No, it's not. Feed more frequently.
Exactly. Feed more frequently. Can you puree jollof rice for a 6-month-old?
Yes, you can. The manufacturer of the blender says you should not puree. You better puree what you like.
All right. So tell everybody more about PEDS and how they can join us. We'll go into a short quiz where we'll give away 4 slots to PEDS, and then I think I have about 4 other gifts to give away as well.
Okay. Ooh, gifts. Okay. So, the PEDS Nutrition Challenge is a 2-week program where we do everything from teaching you how to wean your child properly, how to solve picky eating, how to build a better immune system, how to solve constipation. We have 14 lectures. What that means is that we cover every concern, every issue, even questions that you didn't know you had, from A to Z when it comes to nutrition. We teach you how to make better meals. So there's going to be meal plans that you can explore. And really, the meal plans are not delegated. So I am focused on the African market, right? So whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're an African in the diaspora, it doesn't matter. As long as you have access to the basic ingredients, you can work with them and create the recipes that we have, right? And one of the things we teach during PEDS is we teach you how to become adventurous. What that means is you're adventurous with nutrition. Enjoy food. It doesn't have to, like, if we say, oh, this recipe is like this, I've seen people say, I don't have this ingredient, but I have this. Can I add it? Sure, right? Exactly. That's you coming up with a new way to make that same meal. So you get 2 meal plans, 1 every week. And then we give you a recipe book. And one of the things we also do, apart from even giving you written recipes, is you get video recipes. So regardless what kind of receiver of information you are, you have all those different options. And the same applies for the lectures. We've got videos, we've got written lectures, audio lectures, whatever the case may be. Another thing that PEDS offers you is access to me. Honestly, I love doing talks like this when I have the time. I love, being on Instagram, giving out information. But aside from that, I literally am working from morning to evening. Once I jump off of this call now, I have patient files to chart, right? So having access to me, undiluted, almost 24 hours for 2 weeks is gold. It's
gold, though. Ask question. You bombard her with questions.
Bombard me with your questions. Like, I want you to bombard me with your questions. I want you to give me all the questions you can think about. Because once the 2 weeks ends, you are paying a consultation fee to get my undivided and my full attention, right? Another thing that I also love that PEDS offers is community. There is nothing like it. You find yourself amongst people who either have similar concerns like you, so you don't feel like you're alone. It's a non-judgmental space. Like, you will never feel judged. It is one space where I know you can be vulnerable with your concerns. You can say that you've made a mistake, and it's okay, right? Nobody is going to judge you. People will cheer you on. People will support you. In fact, you will find new besties during the PIDS challenge, right? So you get that community feel. And regardless of where you are in the world, I remember there was one PIDS we had, and there was a mom who, I think she was in the US, who every time we open up in the morning in Nigeria, because it's a different time zone, everybody will be looking for her. So when she comes on in the evening, like, hey, she's here. She has come. She has come. You know, so you get that. So even like people used to look forward to like when the groups would open, you know, when the groups would close and all of that.
Yeah.
Another thing that you also get during PIDS is it's called a challenge for a reason. You are going to break a sweat. You're there to learn and you're there to participate. Now, even if you're not going to participate like fully, you participate to some extent because we have so many amazing sponsors, so many amazing what's it called? Gifts to give out. There's just so much to learn. And at the end of it all, we give out, I think, 10 prizes and the prizes are heavy to the most interactive moms during the challenge. So I've seen PIDS take parents from a place of, I can't do this, I'm struggling to, I've just advised all the people in my children's class. They don't even, the teachers, I've seen children who've been struggling with their weight since the parents have known, and in 2 weeks, there's a significant improvement. So it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And let me even burst your bubble. We have returning members. Like PIDS is so good that people pay every edition to join. Well, I'm not even talking about, oh, I missed it, this edition. Like somebody is waiting for us to say PIDS is back, and the person joins again.
That's how good it is. God is among them. Oppressing us with recipes.
I'm telling you, just giving us recipes back to back to back. Oh my goodness. So yes, it's an opportunity to come, learn, and really make a difference in your child's nutrition.
It is.
So I think there was one question I missed. Yes. So she said,
is any advice on pepper?
Salt and other spices in cooking family food that babies starting solids can eat. You don't do salt for children under 1. My rule of thumb for pepper is if you can taste it, then it's too much for the child. With regards to other spices, I would highly suggest you check the Nutrition for Kids website. There are a lot of spices that you can start using right from 6 months as well. And then, of course, if you're going to be joining the PIDS challenge, I think we have like a spice list, or we give you different options and combinations. I think it's in one of the lectures as well.
Okay, then there's one in the box. 9 months doesn't take water. Okay, you've done that.
Okay, I've answered that.
What our babies can eat to improve their hair?
Is this question for me? Or is this question for MummyMo?
For MummyMo.
Okay, so I will answer this to my own knowledge bank. When you want to help your child's hair grow, you want to really focus on the right sources of protein for them. The wrong sources of protein can actually dry out your scalp and drive you crazy. Like dandruff on another level. I learned that the hard way. You can also, fats are important, getting the right vitamins again is so important too. But it still comes back down to just living a healthy lifestyle. Because what really, hair is supposed to grow. It's supposed to grow. There's nothing about it that is not supposed to grow. It's supposed to thrive. Of course, your genetics has a part to play. Some people will have, better length retention and all of that. Like now, you cannot see my hair. My hair is in a nice, happy bun, right? And this is I can put my own hair in a bun. Look at MummyMo's lovely, lovely, luscious, bounce to just twist, just lovely chunky twist. Oh my goodness, right? So you have some people that have the genetics of it. But honestly, maybe when you people join PIDS, somebody should just remind me to show you a picture of my daughter's hair at 6 months. Even my mom was like, whose hair does this child have? Because it's not your own. It cannot be from our side.
Cannot be
And I
outside.
didn't
We don't have such.
I couldn't blame her because the patches, like, and I think also because my daughter has atopic dermatitis and it was really bad, she used to pull the hair out,
All right.
right? And it had her atopic dermatitis had a nutritional issue. We fixed that, and she stopped pulling her hair out, and the hair actually now started growing, right? So when it comes to the nutrition of hair, there's the hair care part, which is MummyMo's specialty. I'm not even going to get into that. But you do need to make sure that your child is eating a balanced diet. Like I look
Yes.
at my daughter's hair now and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this was even possible. Even hair color, right? Like there's some hair colors that is not your natural hair color, and it's a sign that you're not eating properly. It's a sign that you're not eating properly. So yeah, that's what I would say. Momo can tell you people the regimen, the science.
So anyway, since the topic this evening is nutrition and all of that, I'll just like buttress what you've said and just help everybody here understand. When it comes to hair care, it's not only done from the outside. There's also a lot you do on the inside. Drinking enough water, ensuring your child has enough fluids goes a long way into maintaining a healthy scalp and healthy hair, because hair grows out of your scalp. So if your scalp is healthy, and if your scalp is healthy, it means your body is healthy, because scalp is skin. It's an extension of this kind of skin. So obviously, if I'm eating food that is making this kind of skin glow and do well, it's obviously doing the same thing to the scalp. And if the scalp is healthy, if the cells in your scalp are healthy, then healthy hair will grow out of the scalp. So it's just, eating, giving your child as adequate a diet as possible in the variety and way that they can eat it. Because getting children to eat healthy meals is where Ify now comes in. We know plantain is healthy. We know sweet potatoes are healthy. We know, all of this is healthy. But then your child is like, I don't want to like it. So you figure out how they eat it and ensure they eat it. By the time you put all these things together, you don't need to go out into the world and start buying hair gummy, hair multivitamin, blah, blah, blah. Because the food you are giving has protein, has fat, has carbohydrates, has iron. Do you understand? Has the minerals and vitamins that your child needs. So the important thing is getting your child to eat a healthy diet as adequate as possible, and it will show through the hair. It will show through the hair. So if you need more help, you just need to join pets. I'll be peds rather.
Yes,
And we're
yes.
giving away 4 slots. So if you've been paying attention, this is your opportunity to enter it for free. For free.
Yes,
I hope
for
there are no more
free.
questions before we go into that.
No,
Okay, can
I don't
ginger
think
and
there's
garlic
anything.
mix can ginger and garlic mix be added to meals for a 6-month-old?
Yes, it can. It can, as long as there's no
Okay.
salt in it.
Okay.
So
So
somebody said my son
solid
drinks
couture.
lots of water and eats vegetables well, but his poo is still hard. Oh, see, this question that you're asking, the question is answered very directly in the peace challenge, because one of the first questions that would now come and ask you is, how much water does your son drink? We
Yeah.
like to use the is it a verb? English is not my first language, please. But that word a lot. Every time I see it, I remember asking a mom. The child was 6 months, and she's like, "Oh, I give her enough water." I said, "What is enough water? Enough now? How am I supposed to measure it?" I said, "You need to measure it now." I said, "Okay, go and bring the cup," because it was a virtual consult. So I said, "Go and bring the cup. I'll wait for you."
Okay.
She went and she brought this feeding bottle, and the child drinks, I think, 100 mils. The child doesn't even finish 100 mils in a day. Do you know what 100 mils of water is? Most
Water,
children
that's a
can drink
little.
90 to exactly. But to her, it's enough. She's
It's
drinking
a
enough
lot.
because she has spread it. So that's the honest question. What is a lot? How old is your son, and what is a lot? Boy, you have
Yeah.
the answer to that question. Come and meet me in the Peace Challenge.
Please, are there foods one should avoid to prevent the triggering of atopic dermatitis, and are there foods to help treat them?
Yes, there are foods to avoid. I don't know about treating them. I mean, just like MummyMo said, if you feed your inside, it will show on your outside. See, come and join the peace challenge because I was about to give you a whole lecture now on skin, the
Because I
role of
said, let them join
skin.
Pin and learn more.
Come and join. Because I was about to give a whole lecture on skin, the role of skin, but I said, please, not this night.
Okay, ladies, so this has been awesome as I expected, and she delivered, over delivered. So please let us have the drum roll, the clapping, the twirling, everything as we get ready for my very serious questions. For those who are going to enter the P 12.0, 12.0, if you know you are ready, let me know. I hope you are paying attention because you know me, I'm like a lecturer. I'm like my mother.
You people are in trouble.
Yes, so they are in trouble.
Why?
Please, I'm in South Africa. How can I join PID? It's online.
Yes, it's online. So
Irene,
the link
it's
is in our
online.
bio.
Yeah,
The link
it's
is in our
online.
bio and you can join.
It's online. So let's see. Maybe you'll be one of our lucky winners and you get it for free. If you don't get it for free, you pay. Please, is value for your money. You will be grateful you did. Yes, it is. So it's my first question. Please, if you are ready, I want to see you type ready in the comment section. Ready, 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 ready. Ready, 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 ready. Yes, Irene. Yeah, it's
I'm
online.
ready.
So
I'm ready. I'm ready
if
to
you will
clap
read
for
through,
the
if you like
winners.
being Australia, you can participate in. But if you like being Saudi Arabia, you can
Yes, so it doesn't
participate. Okay,
matter.
everybody's ready, right? Now, what
Don't
did so
join
this
this quiz. Don't join this quiz. Leave these people alone. Let them
if you
do this quiz in peace.
Ngozi, don't join this quiz, please. Because you said you can teach all the things that we said this evening.
Don't join. I don't want you to
Honestly.
join.
All right, so ladies, what did Ify say is the first and most important thing to know when it comes to child nutrition? The first and most important thing. First and most important. Let me get my people ready to write their names.
Who is the person who was listening?
So the first person to answer correctly have the knowledge. But wait, Oyinlolus is my sister.
So we cannot even give you.
Let's give it to the next person. And she's
next...
actually done PEDS before. We were on the same
Really?
page. Yes, we were on the same one. In fact, I and two of my other sisters were on the last PEDS.
Last PEDS, yay.
Yeah. So Oyin, I'll skip you and move to the next person who answered correctly, who is Ashake Adedeji. Ashake Adedeji. Ashake Adedeji, you have won a slot to PED.
Oh, you say you should get out of.
Let me go and look. I must win tonight. Target. Oh my God. But do you want to win another PED again? You've done PED now. No, child, I'm having another PED. I didn't finish my PED. Hey. Okay. If you should pity her, maybe we'll give her the next one. If she wins. So we still have 3 more slots.
Wins. Yes.
Ashake has won 1 slot.
First one.
Congratulations. So my next question is, if your child is a picky eater, you are doing something wrong. True or false? If your child is a picky eater, you are doing something wrong. True or false? First person to get it right. I'm waiting. Honey drops, which one is it now? What's all this? Lord Pastor, I've told you not to answer any question yet this evening. How many did you want to win on this our CSR drive? If your child is a picky eater, honey drops, I need your final answer. If your child is a picky eater, you are doing something wrong. True or false?
Late.
What did you say?
Late.
What's late?
Very late.
Okay, it's late. It's time for me to
If
go
your
to bed
child
before you
is a
to go to
picky
sleep.
eater, you
Shouldn't
are
you be
doing
sleeping?
something. Okay, honey drops.
Have you read your Bible?
You've not put the answer 2 times.
Have you read your
Let me
Bible?
write your handle out correctly.
Go and read.
HUNNIE. Honey drops is our second winner. All these women that are saying true. Why are you not listening to Ify? Ify said, if your oh my goodness, let me even see. I think because Ify said that she can bet like $1 million. In fact, that was how she put it. She can bet like $1 million that if your child is picky eater, you're actually not doing anything wrong.
You just don't have the right knowledge.
Let me see. Let me not go and make mistake. So let me start. Honey Drop said true. She now said false. And I told her to correct. And then Neddy 25. So Neddy, I'll actually give it to Neddy because Honey Drop, if I ever put false, and I needed you to get it right. But then Neddy NNEDI 25 put the answer. Okay. So ladies, let's keep rolling now. We have enough gifts. I have enough gifts. Now, wow, see fastest fingers. Stop running around, Honey Drop, or decide, you see, Honey Drop. Yeah, watching my flush pasture. Just hold that feeling. Hold it like this. Hold it. So, ladies, it's actually false. It's actually false. You are not doing anything wrong. Remember, if you said there is nothing your child cannot eat, you need to understand. Is this how I should serve it? Like she said, some children like drinking water from maybe the glass cup they see you drinking with instead of the big colorful sippy cup with the big straw that you went to buy for them. So it's just how to understand all those dynamics. Yes, Large Pasture, I'm here. You cannot win anything again this evening. You cannot win anything this evening. Allow these women to win, please. Let's keep going. Time is going. And if he has patient files, she needs to get to. So let's be quick. Third question. What is the age range for molding your child's, let's say, eating habits or feeding habits? What is the age range? First person to answer. What is the age range for molding your child's feeding habits? You mentioned that within this time frame. I didn't even laugh. I didn't even laugh. Honestly, I didn't even laugh.
Honey Drop, I like this your network. This your network is working
very fast, honestly. So Honey Drops is our third Kids winner. So far, we have Ashake Adedeji, we have Neddy 25, and we have Honey Drops. All right. So ladies, it's 6 months to 6 years.
6 years.
6 months to 6 years. Oh, thank you, Odu Victoria. Thank you. Now, our fourth question to get onto the PEDS challenge. Name 3 organs. This thing they pay me. Name, please pay attention so that your network and your hand will work in tandem. Name three organs or systems that are fully formed in children by the age of 6. 3 body organs or systems that are fully formed in children by the age of 6. This is where I'll know the Lord Pastor, get out. Lord Pastor, go away. Go away,
Tibo, when did I say this one?
If you are going to help us choose winner for this one, see how the answers are just jumping in. Grace say I.
Let me see. Okay, so the person who answered first is Mizzy Udi, Mzyuddie. That was the first person that got it right. She
I
had
got
brain,
it.
heart, and gut. Yes.
Brain, heart, and God. So MZYUDDIE.
Udyie. Yes.
Good. So we have our 4 PED slots now fully occupied. Thank you, ladies. In fact,
Lunch
let's
pass will beat you.
in fact let's now calm down and get the question, get the answer. So if you mentioned the brain, she mentioned the heart, she mentioned the gut, she also mentioned the immune system. I don't know where somebody went to get eye from. She mentioned, God is watching me in 3D. God is watching all of. God is also watching you especially.
It's
I want to
watching
win. You want to win all the gifts of the CSR Drive. Okay, so we have how many more gifts do we have to give you? I still have 4 gifts to give away. All right, so this next question is for a 12-pack of Coca-Cola. It could be Fanta, it could be Coke, it could be Sprite, but Coca-Cola product. So a 12-pack. If
Please
you're
don't give
ready,
your
let me know.
children.
Don't give your children. Drink it in secret, so you don't model.
Please drink it alone. Don't give them.
Okay, so ladies, as a parent, you need to control the quantity of food your child eats. True or false?
This one is easy now.
True
Nobody should
or
get it
false?
wrong.
Very, very easy question. Very easy question. I know what
They
you
say
say.
they
We
don't
should
want
know.
your cook. They say they don't want your cook.
My God. True or false? You, as a parent, you need to control the quantity of food your child eats. True or false?
Look at us, no answer.
Yes. Okay. Oh, do we try that?
Yeah.
I'll drink it at night. So let me see if we have a winner. So the answer is false. You don't need to control the amount of food your child eats. That was what she was talking about. You know, where our parents used to force us and say, you must finish all this food. If you don't finish this food, don't get up from this table. That you don't need to control the quantity that they're eating. And I think somebody even put a question that her child eats only in small portions. That is it a problem? And saying just feed more frequently. So you don't need to control the quantity. The important thing is your child is eating. So
Yeah,
who
because it's
answered
important.
false? Yeah.
I just want to add that it's important for self-regulation. Like when we even talk about self-regulation, there are some children that have a big appetite, right? That want to eat like a lot. But I also think it's important that you understand portion control because that's something that a lot of us are currently struggling with. Like our portions are ridiculous, you know?
Yes.
So in as much as you're not telling your child you must finish this food, you're also serving like reasonable quantities of food. In fact, all of us here that follow food bloggers and food enthusiasts and mommy bloggers that are outside of Nigeria, when you see the food they serve their children, I know the question in your mind is this thing enough?
Honestly.
Like, where is the rest of the food?
The food.
But the honest truth is that that's enough for the child.
Mm.
The quantity is not the problem. The density of the nutrients is. Okay,
Yes.
bye.
Thank you so
Ask your
much.
question.
So the first person who said false, honey drops, I won't obviously give you the gift again. George, you've already won a slot on PEDS. So I'm skipping you and going to the next person who mentioned false, and that was Ms. Amethyst. So Ms. Amethyst, you've won a 12-pack of Coca-Cola. Yeah, it depends, though. Regulate. What about sweets?
Is sweet a food?
Oh, shit. I like that. So sweets is not food, please, ladies. Do we have
It's not food.
anyone on here who is resident in Kenya? Because the next one is a shopping voucher for a supermarket here in Kenya.
I
Do we
will go
have
there.
any? Do we have? any ladies joining us in from Kenya? Oilolus and hair, that sweet matter. Because we are used to a by molded quantity. Oh my goodness, these women, jeez.
This comment section is crazy. Oh my goodness.
How can I cut out sweets completely? So Ngozi is giving you one suggestion: replace sweets with popsicles. Lodge Pasture is not only Nakuru. It's not only Nakuru, it's Nairobi. Okay, so moving. Okay, so do you want to quickly attend to Oilolus? How can I cut out sweets completely?
Okay, so I think we also need to remember that children are children, and they need to be children. They need to eat sweets, they need to eat chocolate. Once in a while, they have candy. It's also important, like I gave the example, I even said it earlier, that my son's birthday is coming up and I'm filling party packs. I am very intentional about what goes into the party packs, right? And so rather than just getting some nasty drink off the shelf, maybe a fizzy drink, or even Capri Sun. Capri Sun is one of the worst of the worst. I opted for Ribena. Now, is Ribena something a child should be drinking on a regular basis? Definitely not. Is it something that should be a part of their lunch bag every day? Most definitely not. But can it be on an occasion, at a party, in a gift bag? Sure, why not? So it's the same concept with sweets. Choose your sweet well. Like there are some sweets that when you even buy it and you taste it, you know that this thing is a chemical. Like there's nothing alive.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are other sweets that you taste, and you can taste some fruit, you can taste some, like for example, okay, let me use me, because one thing I will always do is I'm a realist. I don't tell you what I can't do, and I will not give you a false impression, right? So like how somebody will say, oh, if he eats healthy. Yeah, but sometimes I'll eat candy because I'm a human being, right? So for example, when I even do party packs, I would do chocolate. So I do maybe like Bounty or Mars or something. But you would never catch me do Skittles. That's just nasty. You would never catch me do, there's one sweet that they roll. I don't know, the thing is sharp plenty in a pack. I won't do something like, you're even better off doing Tom safe, for lack of a better word. So some of these robo sweets and things that have funny colors and stuff. And that's just because at least I know that it's sugar that I'm dealing with, and maybe like emulsified fat. I'm not dealing with red dye 42, blue dye 58, things that are going to mess my children's brain and other people's children's brain. Because not only am I trying to protect my children, I'm also trying to protect their children, right? And one of the things I would say is, you can be a role model for other people around you. Whenever I do party packs, people always ask me, where did you get this? Or where did you get that? Because I'm actively looking for better options. So
right.
So they can have it, but look for the better options. Look for the better options.
Nice. I like that. So moving on, since I don't have any Kenyan, do we have any UK resident?
Where are the Brits?
I like that. Where are the Brits? Any UK resident, because the next gift is supposed to be a UK shopping voucher as well. And if I don't have that, we'll just move. It's not only... Okay, so Neddy has won something. Am I right? Yeah, Neddy has won something already.
Yeah.
Okay, RR Kiddies World. All right, good. So we have UK. We have the Brits in the house. All right, let me ask my question. Now, let me see.
This one is going to be hard. You people should prepare yourselves.
I should give Nigerian voucher. Yes, I have a Nigerian gift. The Coke is a Nigerian gift that somebody has won. I still have a Nigerian gift coming up after this. So let me just ask now. The women on this call, oh my God. UK is Umuahia Kingdom. Lose your disqualified. Let me just ask. So hopefully you were on when the lady asked about a lady asked Ify or mentioned that her child doesn't like to drink water. And what was if he said that research has shown that there's a particular way that is better to give children to drink water. Can you remember what that was? She said her child doesn't like drinking water. And she was like, are you sure? That research has shown that children actually prefer to drink water from dash. From dash. So if you're in the UK, just hit me with the answer. Fast.
Oh yeah, give us the answer. If you go and Google it, you might miss your turn. Somebody will answer it before you. Anybody?
Let me see. Yes, from an open cup. So the answer is from an open cup. And who? Yes. So, Oyilola, you said cup. Neddy, you already want something, you said open cup. Grace, you said wide cup. No, it's actually an open cup.
Open cup, yeah.
Onyinye Chiodu, are you in the UK? Please let me know. Onyinye Chiodu. Lord Pastor, thank you. Lord Pastor, thank you for the question. Oyilola, you came back and now corrected yourself. You said open cup. My network is there. Before I heard the question, answer is already go again. Go. Onyinye Chiodu, you're in Nigeria. Grace, okay, let me go back. Grace, you said wide cup. It's actually open cup. I corrected it on our fastest finger cause. Oh my goodness. So Onyinye, since you're in Nigeria, why don't you attempt the next question? So Oyilola, you said open cup. Okay, Grace, you now said I mean open cup. Grace, are you in the UK? I need to know. Lost Pastor the Vex.
Lord, Grace, you need to drink cold water.
Honestly.
You need to drink cold water.
Grace, I need to do Grace Ayo, rather. Grace Ayo. Are you in the UK? Please let me know. You are in Nigeria. Okay, so the next correct person is Oyilola. Oyilola, are you in the UK? Are you in the UK? We have just one more. Somebody said I want. Onyinye said, please, I want Pete.
The Pete.
They have already won all the free Pete. Come and pay. It's pretty affordable. It's pretty affordable.
Come and pay. Make that investment your child deserves.
Yeah, I did when we're doing that. I didn't have the opportunity of this free when people are getting it. And I paid, and it was actually very, very good. Very, very good. Oyilola, you're in Nigeria. They are all in Nigeria. Wow. What am I going to do like this? MummyMo, can you see my comments?
Sandy. Yeah, I saw your comment. You said open cup. But I think is there a list of people? Who is the next person on the list that
want to
ask?
Okay, so after Oyilola, the next person who said open cup was actually Sandy. So Sandy, Are you in the UK?
Are you in the UK?
Is the shop not in Ghana? Come on. Sandy, are you in the UK? No, the shop is not in Ghana. It's not in Ghana, Cramwell, unfortunately. One day we'll reach that side.
Yes, sir.
So Sandy, please let us know so we can quickly go on to the last question and be done for the night.
His is 5,000 naira or $10, whichever one is yours.
Yay! So Sandy, Sandy.
Congrats, Sandy.
IKU ENOBE. Sandy, you have won yourself £50 to shop in any shop of your choice, any shop of your choice in the UK.
Wow!
Congratulations.
Sandy, please take me with you.
Honestly,
Very
honestly.
silent shopper. Very silent
So
shopper.
our final question of the evening is, how do I frame this now? Because I know what I want to ask. For children, say £50. Yeah,
Lord.
£50. 50 quid. 50 quid, mate. 50 quid, mate. For children under the age of 1, you can add salt to their food. True or false? For children under the age of 1, you can add salt to their food. True or false?
Oh yeah, somebody
I'm
for my
waiting.
answer.
For children under the age of 1, you can add salt to their food. True. Oh, Lolu, sharp. Yes, she must win tonight. She has actually won. See how the answers are pouring in. Oh my goodness. Everybody was listening at this point too. Nobody got it wrong.
Gracia, what's going on? Please don't add salt to anybody's food, though.
Grace, oh no. She said for children, in fact, that was in response to a question asked by someone who was asking about adding salt and pepper to their children's food. And Ify said that no salt for children under the age of 1. And then with regards to pepper, if you can taste it, if you can taste the heat of the pepper in your mouth, that means it's already too much for the child. All right. So at Oyinlolu was first to say false. Oyinlolu, you have won. Oyinlolu, you have won yourself a tub of black soap from Natural Nigerian.
Oh, and their black soap is so good.
Yes, it's so good.
Their black soap is so good. Girl, you're in for a treat.
As
you are in for a treat.
So ladies,
it's doing me like I should send container to your house.
What you 3-day bag of salt? Please, gift for pet mamas. And your gift is we are bringing more people to the community. Because at the end of the day, this thing is a movement. Is a movement. So the more people that we can get to join PEDS, the better. So Ngozi, that's your gift. You are alumni. In fact, you are OG of PEDS. You now have people that you can mentor them.
You should have seen the truck that we used to pack our gifts to our house.
Are you serious?
To pack gifts to our house.
So, Ngozi, that's your gift for PEDS Mama or for PEDS Mamas, okay? We're adding to your community. You now have confirmed 4 people joining your community, and I'm sure that there'll be lots more other women from this evening who are going to join PEDS. If you're looking for how to join, just go to, is it on your handle as well?
Yes, so right now you're joining us on Nutrition for Kids NG. So just go to the link in our bio, send a DM to us right now, and you can happily join. Happily join the PEDS challenge.
So just do that.
Happily join the PEDS challenge.
Congratulations to all our winners. Maya Mariam, which products are you asking for? Grace, don't worry. See you. I have another live tomorrow. Lots of opportunities to win. I'm Mother Christmas at this time of the year. Maya Mariam, what products are you referring to? So that I know if it's me you're talking to or if it's Ify, because they also sell stuff.
Yes, well, if you're looking for our stuff, that's on the Nutrition for Kids NG website. By God's grace, something is coming really soon and be able to ship to the US, to Canada, to the UK really soon. We're working on it. So come and join PEDS, because that money is not going to
join PEDS, exactly.
I'll push this movement so that you can be getting all your favorite baby things from Nigeria, adult things from Nigeria at a very affordable rate, right? So come and join.
Okay, so
Mariam wanted
Mariam,
to keep moisture.
moisture. So it's hair products. Yes, they can be shipped to the US. They can be shipped to the US. There's some that are available, I think, in Canada. But I can send you a DM and we can sort that out. So thank you everybody for joining. This was fun. This was enlightening. This was educative. This was informative. And it was also fun as well. Congratulations to all our winners. Congratulations to our upcoming Peds Mamas. You are going to love the opportunity that this has afforded you. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Some things that are looking to you when it comes to your children's feeding, like rocket science, it's not rocket science, and they're going to break it all down.
Oh my God, Lush is
So everybody, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for paying attention. And I will see you tomorrow evening. We have another live with Winning in Parenting, and she's going to be teaching you how to discipline your children without feeling guilty about it. You also have the opportunity of winning lots of gifts. So please join us tomorrow evening as well. Same time, 7 p.m. Yes, so woohoo, Pets Challenge, here I come. Thank you so much, Ify. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate how freely you gave to us this evening. I'm so grateful. So grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a blessed evening.
You too. So ladies, hope you will get slots tomorrow. If you want to answer correctly and the first person to answer correctly, you will get your gifts. You will get your gifts. So ladies, we have to go now. We've done almost 2 hours, but this was too much fun. Almost 2 hours. Thank you, ladies. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.
7 p.m. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.